Hello guys, how are you? I hope you all are doing excellent. This is Ashim Mishra came with our channel, your Medico's Library. So guys, in this video, I'm going to discuss about some important topic of heart, which is called as the pericarditis. Okay, pericarditis topic seems like very easy, but it has huge information. Okay, like in this video, in pericarditis, I'm going to discuss about their clinical manifestation, about their investigation, about their pathogenesis. Okay, and along their treatment. Okay. So first of all, what is pericarditis? Pericarditis means it is the inflammation of the pericardium layer. Okay, pericardium layer, it is the layer present in the heart. Okay, outermost layer. Okay, in the pericardium layer, first of all, there are two main layers. Okay, the outer is a fibrinous layer, inner is a serous layer. Okay, in that layer, there is the accumulation of the fluid, 50 ml fluid. Okay, this fluid is very important because it lubricates the heart. Okay, it helps the movement of the heart. Okay, along with their rhythmic activity, and it acts as a barrier for the infection. Okay, so these are the some basic information. And if any patient have the pericarditis, okay, this pericarditis leads to the accumulation of the fluid. Okay, and in pericarditis, if there is accumulation of the fluid, that leads to the pericardial effusion. Pericardial effusion means there is accumulation of the fluid. Okay, in the pericardium, and if we don't remove this fluid, okay, we don't aspire this fluid, okay, that leads to the pericardial tamponade. Okay, pericardial tamponade means there is a huge accumulation of the fluid in the pericardium that leads to the pressure on the heart. Okay, and the heart size decreases. Okay, and if we don't treat that pericardial tamponade, that leads to the acute heart failure. Okay, so it is very necessary to understand the pericarditis, pericardial effusion, and pericardial tamponade along with the that leads to the acute heart failure. These are the very basic information. Okay, now in this I am going to discuss about some individual topics of this pericarditis. Okay, now what is the acute pericarditis? Okay, acute pericarditis, it means it is a inflammation of the pericardium layer. Okay, how it occurs? Okay, first of all, what is the causative agent for this acute pericarditis? Okay, there are like a viral infection, there is a bacterial infection, there is a protozoal infection. Okay, these are the infectious agent which cause the pericarditis, and along with there is an autoimmune disease too, like rheumatic fever. Okay, there is a autoimmune diseases. Okay, so there are lots of autoimmune diseases that leads to the pericarditis, like systemic lupus erythematosus. Okay, so these are all the causative agent which causes the pericarditis. Okay, and in the pathogenesis, it depends on how this microorganism cause the pericarditis. Okay, like there may be the fibrinous, there may be the serous, okay, and there may be the hemorrhagic along with their purulent exudate formation. Okay, in the fibrinous layer, when the image of the fibrinous layer of the pericardium, okay, that leads to the fibrinous exudate. Okay, and later on, if there is a damage to the serous layer, that leads to the serous exudate formation. Okay, that serous exudate formation means in that exudate there is a protein accumulation. Okay, then there is a water fluid accumulation, and in that if there is a hemorrhagic condition occur, okay, that leads to the malignancy condition. Okay, and if this has been not treated, okay, like hemorrhagic situation not be treated, that leads to the pus. Okay, like a purulent, okay, purulent exudate formation. Okay, so fibrinous exudate, serous exudate along with the hemorrhagic condition, and later on purulent pus. Okay, purulent pus because of the microorganism sepsis condition occur. Okay, these are some pathogenesis. Now what is the clinical manifestation? Okay, first of all, there is a chest pain. Okay, and chest pain is like a behind the sternum. Okay, it is a retrosternal pain. Okay, this pain radiates toward the shoulder, toward the neck. Okay, and that leads to the rubbing of the pericardium. Okay, when there is a fluid accumulation in the pericardium, that the pericardium get become rub. Okay, if you do the auscultation, in that there is a you heard a sound like a rubbing of the pericardium. Okay, so in that condition occurs. Okay, so these are the some clinical manifestation which has been very important. And if you do the investigation, the best investigation is in the acute pericarditis is the echocardiogram. Okay, in echocardiogram there is a stages you can see. Okay, in stage 1 you see the ST elevation and PR depression. In stage 2 the T wave flat. In third wave, okay, in third stage you will identify the T wave depression, and in fourth stage the rhythmic activity become normal. Okay, it is like a cyclic process. Okay, cycle process. Initially it become the rhythm of the heart become disturbed, later on it become normal, and then again it become disturbed, then normal. This happens like a circle. Okay, like a cycle. Okay, these are the investigation and the treatment. First of all, we need to relieve the pain. Okay, this is the best thing by giving aspirin, like about the 600 mg for the 6 days. Along with you can give the indomethacin, okay, about 30 mg for the 3 days. And there are also drugs like colchicine and the glucocorticoid. These are also drugs which relieve the symptoms, but there is no such evidence for that drugs. Okay, but you can give drugs, okay, and along with you can give the if there is a viral infection occurs, so you can give the antiviral drugs, and if there is an accumulation of the fluid in the pericarditis condition, so you need to drain that fluid. Like there is a mechanism called as a pericardiocentesis, so remove the fluid from that condition. So all these are conditions about the acute pericarditis. Now guys, I'm going to discuss about the pericardial effusion. Okay, how the pericardial effusion occurs. If in acute pericarditis condition, which I had already discussed, if there is accumulation in that condition, okay, if we don't remove the fluid from that pericardial situation, so this leads to the pericardial effusion, means that there is a lot of accumulation of fluid in the pericardium. Okay, now we are discussing about the clinical manifestation of the pericardial effusion. Okay, in the clinical manifestation, you can identify if you do the auscultation. In that there is a rubbing of the pericardium. Okay, that rubbing of the pericardium leads to the condition of the, it shows there is accumulation of the fluid in the pericardium, and along with it shows there is a hypotension condition, there is a bradycardia condition, there is a jugular vein pressure elevation. Okay, whenever there is a jugular vein pressure raised, okay, that means your stroke volume decreases, your cardiac output decreases, that leads to the hypotension. Okay, and if you do the investigation in the chest X-ray, you will find the cardiac cellulite. It means in the chest X-ray, if you see, there is an outline of the heart. Okay, it shows the excessive outline of the heart. That means there is an accumulation of the fluid. Okay, and if you do the echocardiogram, it means there is a QRS wave depression. Okay, these are some basic investigation you need to know. What is the management for this? Best management is to remove the fluid from this pericardium. Okay, by doing the pericardiocentesis. Okay, but there is a complication for the pericardiocentesis. Okay, what are the complication? It leads to the arrhythmias, it leads to the damage of the coronary artery, it leads to the bleeding. Okay, these are some kind of complication, but the best management is to remove the fluid from this pericardium. Okay, so these are all about the pericardial effusion. Okay, now one more thing is very necessary, that a tuberculosis pericarditis. Okay, tuberculosis pericarditis occurs in that patient who has already pulmonary tuberculosis. Okay, in that condition it occurs mainly in the African peoples. Okay, African people, those who have this pericardial tuberculosis, that leads to the HIV. Why? Because HIV is an autoimmune disease, and the pericarditis condition, whether it may be a tuberculosis or any of the pericarditis, it is also occur because of the autoimmune disease. So this tuberculosis pericarditis can lead to the HIV in African peoples too. Okay, and investigate that is to aspire the fluid from the pericardium. Okay, when you aspire the fluid from the pericardium, in that you identify the what are the microorganism which causes the tuberculosis. Like, of course, this is a tuberculosis agent. Okay, for the treatment you need to give the anti-tuberculosis drugs. Okay, these are about the tuberculosis pericarditis. And along with one more important thing is, there is also one pericarditis. This is called as a chronic constructive pericarditis. It means your heart has been become thick, fibrous, because it become calcified. Your heart become calcified. Okay, so if your heart becomes stiff, calcified, okay, in that condition the heart can't able to fill the blood. Okay, and these are the very serious condition you need to know. If there is a clinical manifestation also arises, like you need to you see that there is ascites occurs, along with there is a hepatomegaly occurs, there is a hypotension condition occurs, JVP raised, okay, jugular vein pressure raised. So all these condition occur, and in investigation, chest X-ray identified this calcification, and echocardiogram tells about the rhythmic activity of the heart. Okay, and the best management for the treatment of this chronic constructive pericarditis is you need to give the loop diuretic, and along with you need to give the aldosterone antagonist. Okay, these are the treatment. Along with, I need to discuss one more thing about the cardiac tamponade. Okay, cardiac tamponade, as I told that if you don't remove the fluid from the pericardium, it leads to the cardiac tamponade, means excessive fluid accumulation, and that fluid put the pressure on the heart. That heart become shrinking. Okay, size become shrinking. Okay, the manifestation that leads to the JVP, means the jugular vein pressure raised, that leads to the hypotension condition. Okay, these are all condition in the clinical manifestation of the cardiac tamponade. And the investigation is the echocardiogram. Okay, it tells about the accumulation of the fluid, and it tells about the X-ray also. Chest X-ray also tells about the shape of the heart, how it become enlarged, and along with it become a globular condition. Okay, of the heart. And treatment, best management is to remove the fluid. Okay, it is very necessary in the cardiac tamponade, because if you won't remove the fluid by pericardiocentesis, that leads to the acute heart failure. Okay, this is very important to know about this condition. Okay, and JVP and along with the hypertension condition, these are all the common clinical symptoms for the pleural effusion, for the chronic constructive pericarditis. Okay, and along with this tamponade, okay, the pericardial tamponade, okay. So these are all the common symptoms for that, okay. So guys, ये वीडियो मैंने कोशिश किया है कि आपको समझाने के लिए पेरिकार्डिटिस के बारे में. अगर आपको कोई पार्ट समझ में ना आया हो या कोई डाउट हो तो प्लीज मुझे कमेंट करिएगा. So thank you so much guys for your attention. If you get any benefit from this, so please hit the like button and subscribe my channel. Thank you so much guys.